So we're about to, it's been a while since we've recorded together like this.
It has been. Yes.
I like not being on the Zoom.
Yes, it is nice being back in person again.
But what was really cool about, I'm going back to the self-employment of the arts.
Are we recording?
Yeah.
Oh.
Running a successful business often means dealing with stress, burnout, and exhaustion. That's why prioritizing your mental health at work is one of the most important decisions you'll ever make. Hi, I'm Leanna Lee.
I'm Mike Vini, and this is Bettermental. Join us as we share tools, tips, and strategies to help you build better systems for health and business growth.
Ready?
Let's get to work.
Hi.
Somebody doesn't have mental control over what's going on here.
Well, we will talk about that today, won't we?
We will talk about it. But the self-employment in the arts presentation we did with Amy Rogers, or whatever it was for Amy, I think it was in January. Yeah. And she goes, what did she say? She goes, why don't you two just talk?
Yeah, just do what you do on the podcast.
Right. We had no outline. And we did that thing like a complete episode.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, it was fun of us.
So what are we talking about?
Well, first of all, welcome back. Welcome back to Bettermental. We're back. It's season 2. We're here in upstate New York, recording at Mike's home studio, which is exciting. Are we allowed to say that it's your home studio? Is that something you say online?
Yes, it's okay to say that.
I wasn't sure. I don't know. I know you have like a P.O. box, but I don't know.
We're recording in the P.O. box?
We're recording in the P.O. box right now. It's a big one. But yeah, so today we just want to talk about the upcoming season, what you should expect from Bettermental this year and next year, I guess. And yeah, just catch up a bit.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we're going to catch up. And, you and I discovered that we have something in common.
Yes.
I mean, amongst many things, we've discovered that through the years more and more. We really both love shrimp with crab. That's really good.
Yes.
That
we both love sushi. We just love seafood, I think, in general.
Yeah.
Sushi.
So we need to do our next recording in Hawaii and do it by the water. But no.
Or Scotland, because the seafood is amazing.
And I'm going to be there in the fall. So yes. And the thing though, besides food, that we learned that we have in common was control. And
yes.
we're doing one of our planning sessions, right? That's what was happening? We were planning.
Yeah. Well, we were trying to figure out what the theme of the season was going to be. And I'm like, Mike, we have to put something on paper. We have to figure something out. We have to put it down. What is it going to be? And then I just kind of paused for a second and I was like, okay, I'm sorry. I'm being a bit of a control freak. I apologize for that. And then Mike said something really interesting. What was that? You had a confession for me.
Yes. So I'm sorry. I'm just laughing. I'm remembering this whole day. So yes, you admitted to it. Thank you for owning that. Thank you for owning that. And by the way, it's good when we can own things that we struggle with sometimes or have challenges with.
Yeah.
But yes, I'm an internal control freak. So Leanna, you're more of the project.
Like the spreadsheets and the schedules and the getting to places on time. And it can get a bit annoying because when Mike and I are together, it's like I'm trying to get stuff done. And he's like, it'll happen. Like this has been our entire planning time together was I'm like, okay, when are you going to be here? What's going to happen? What are we going to cover? And Mike's like, we'll figure it. 2 days a week, I'll be in and out doing stuff. I'll let you know my schedule when it happens. And I'm like, no.
Yes, but we realized for me that I control things in my mind. So in my mind, maybe I'm controlling a reaction or I'm controlling what I want to say. I'm trying to word it right so I'll get the response that I want or hopefully get the response that I want from someone. So those are forms of control. And believe it or not, obsessing for me. So I've been diagnosed with obsessive compulsive disorder. And one of the challenges with that is I can't focus. Like even as I'm recording right now, fortunately, I'm actually in a clear headspace, which is pretty cool. Thank you, coffee and meditation this morning. But the thing is, other times I'm recording. I just hit the microphone there. Other times I'm recording and I'm obsessing about so many other things at the same time that I'm not fully present. So I try to control things internally and you do it externally.
Yeah. And I think probably the funniest example of our different methods of control is that as we were talking through season 2, what we wanted to see and what we wanted to do, I said, Mike, one thing I would love to change is you introduced so many episodes. You introduced so many of the episodes in the last season. It kind of felt like it was still the Mike Feeney show. And so I want us to figure out how to kind of come back to the partnership here and make it a bit more balanced. And then the the dilemma became, am I the control freak for bringing that up?
Mm-hmm.
Or is Mike the control freak for doing it in the first place? Like, it's sort of like, can it be both?
Oh, I was about to say, I think the answer is both right there.
So we're just both being control freaks
right. And I think what it is we cancel each other out. That's why we work so well together. But you know what? No, I'm used to coming down here actually in the studio and saying, hi, this is Mike Feeney. Mm-hmm. Welcome to my YouTube channel.
Yeah,
whatever
it's literally your job.
Right.
That's how you do things.
And I'm on podcasts all the time as a guest, and I have to, not take control, but just, be assertive, be confident and say, hey, let's get started. So I'm kind of used to that. And so I realized I was defaulting into that, maybe because I was used to it, but also maybe out of a sense of fear. Believe it or not, I'm going to tell you that. Saying, oh my God, if I don't do that, is it not going to start well?
Oh, wow. That's so interesting.
Moment of truth.
Interesting. Yeah. And I mean, control, it shows up in so many different places of our lives. If we've learned nothing from the past, basically 2.5 to 3 years at this point of the pandemic, it's like there's so many external factors that you can't control, right? You've got the coronavirus, you've got a war that just popped up this year, you've got like recessions everywhere, you've got the real estate market, you've got jobs coming in and out. It's just ridiculous. And there's so many questions, I think, around what we can control, what we can't control, what we can do about the things we can't control. How do we approach controlling things that are under our control? Like, so many different questions.
Oh, deep.
And then you sort of zoom in, because we're not talking about control as a whole. We're talking about control as it applies to business and mental health. Yes. So in your opinion, Mike, what does control have to do with business and mental health?
Well, I mean, two things. Sometimes when it comes to our mental health, and let me just say my definition of mental health is thoughts, feelings, and behavior. Any combination of those is mental health right there. And sometimes, we're trying to control our thoughts. We're struggling to control our emotions. I deal with emotional dysregulations where my emotions become so extreme, they take over and I can't handle it. So, my whole life I've been trying, how do I control my emotions? How do I control my anger? And at the same time, in a business, you have to control it at some level. Mm-hmm. You can't just like have a free-for-all. I mean, some people might have a free-for-all and it works, but you need to have control over finances, over client relationships, getting to places on time, making sure you deliver on time, all that stuff. And so, control is a theme that goes through both. Mm-hmm. And both mental health has, the reason we have this whole podcast is mental health and running a business are interrelated. There's a nice little relationship there.
There's no way to separate them. And yeah, so I mean, you explained that really so well. And so kind of for this season, we want to explore some of those themes around control, what it means in business and mental health. Is this a good thing or a bad thing? What do you do with it? When do you give up control? It's just some of these big questions, but really bringing it into what Bettermental is all about. So our first episode is going to cover control versus management and what we mean by that and how that applies to business and mental health. In the second episode, we're going to go into, can you really control your emotions, which I think is going to be really interesting. And I know you'll have a lot to say on that, Mike. We are also going to have just like delving into the business side of control. We're going to do a 3-part series, kind of like what we've done for therapy before and stress management. We're doing this for control in your business. So we're going to cover time, clients, and finances, which I think are sort of the big 3 problem areas, at least for me in my business.
This is going to get interesting.
Yeah. Let me see. Other episodes we were going to do an episode about therapy as a management tool, which I think is going to be really cool. And also planning for the worst days. We're going to have a great guest for that one, sort of emergency protocol, how you prepare ahead basically for bad days. Because for Mike and I, at least with chronic mental health, it's inevitable. It happens. So we have to be kind of on top of that. And then rounding off our season with how to control your success, or controlling your success. Not necessarily how to, but what that looks like.
That's the bonus episode. You weren't supposed to know about it.
And then maybe in the middle, maybe if we can get organized enough and put things in place, we may do a live event somewhere around the world. We shall see.
Besides the United States.
Besides the United States, yes. Outside of this country.
Yes. Oh my. So excited for that. Well, yes. And there's going to be a lot that's going to come up this season. And I think this is a really important one because it is not just about business. It's about life, this control thing. And I think if anything, just to reiterate what the past 2.5 years, dare I say, has taught us is what little we have control over.
Yeah.
But it's important also to do our best to have control over certain things. So this is going to be a powerful season. We're super excited.
Yes.
And I guess we'll see you soon.
Can't wait for you all to join us. And we will see you very, very soon.
Bye.
Thanks for listening. You can learn more about the resources we mentioned or connect with special guests by checking out today's show notes at bettermental.fm.
And if you liked this episode, keep in touch by following us on your favorite podcast app. In the meantime, we'd love to hear what you think about the show. So DM or mention us on Twitter at BettermentalFM.
Thanks again, and see you next time.